So this guy ordered a custom sweater from me. He's a friend of a friend of a friend of mine, and he has an appreciation for hand-knit sweaters, but he doesn't knit. So he reached out to a friend of mine who knits and asked if she would knit a custom sweater for him, but my friend said no. She doesn't typically knit big projects like sweaters for other people, but she loves making small gifts like beanies and pillows. So I happened to run into her a few days later, and she goes, oh my gosh, I know someone who would love a hand knit sweater, since she knows that I almost exclusively knit sweaters and pretty much only sell hand knit sweaters. So she connected us, and he gave me the inspiration he was going for and that he wanted in a sweater. It seemed like a really good match between customer and knitter. So he wanted cashmere in a sort of volcano look, which he showed me in this sample online he sent me from Bottega Veneta. His reason for not buying this sweater, though, was that it was ridiculously expensive and not even hand knit, and he thought, like, if I could find someone, like, he happened to know a couple knitters, and if one of those people would knit him a sweater similar to this, then that would be great, because then he's not buying a machine-made sweater from a mass production company for a ridiculous amount of money. And so he had really been searching for someone to remake a similar sweater for him out of cashmere yarn. So I started out by sending him pattern options that I found on Ravelry. Since the sweater he was inspired by obviously did not have a knitting pattern to go along with it, I told him I would find some similar options and we can decide together what the best design choice would be before picking yarn. The first pattern I sent him he loved and we decided to go with is this men's sweater pattern from a Norwegian knitter called Arner. The designer is Tove Richter. When looking at this pattern, I was really looking for that volcano style color work that this customer really liked and wanted to repeat. So looking at that sweater, I told him that I would make the color work reverse once it gets to that point, since the sweater is knit bottom up. So I was going to make the whole top portion knit in the contrast color instead of patterned with the main color up to the top. He was super happy with this idea, and we moved forward from there. So my first sign that this project would eventually go south was probably in the choosing yarn phase. I started out by sending him a cashmere yarn option that I found that was affordable but still pure cashmere, and he did not love the white or the brown options that this yarn came in, so he in turn went online himself and found a cashmere option on his own and sent it to me instead. This yarn was from Universal Yarn and it was perfect, except that it was not the weight of yarn that the pattern called for, so it ended up being more expensive because, like knitter jargon, I needed to hold two strands held together. But it was the colors that he really wanted, and he was able to vet that by finding it himself. So I ordered the yarn, and once it arrived, I got started. I knit the sleeves first, and then the body. When I tell you that the body of the sweater took so long, it was insane. I felt like I was knitting the brown portion for a million years. I received a custom order for a cashmere sweater from a connection of mine who also knits, but she had someone approach her who appreciates hand knit sweaters, but she told them that she does not have the patience for knitting a sweater for someone else. So she remembered me, and that basically all that I knit is sweaters. And so she connected me with this person, and they sent me what they would like, and that these designer sweaters that they've been shopping online are like crazy expensive and not even hand knit. And so he sent me what he would love, the type of design he would love, and like sizing and everything. Paid ahead of time, and I'm in the middle of making his cashmere sweater for him, and hopefully it's done by Christmas, but it is currently December 14th, and I'm just finishing the second sleeve. But it should be fine. But it'll be good. And my shipping like deadline, I'm hoping to ship it by like the 18th. Like to have sent him a finished photo of it and be like, look at how beautiful it looks, I hope you love it. And then get his approval for it and then ship it to him like express, super quick. And hopefully that will be done by Christmas, and then I can then complete all the Christmas presents I had been hoping to make as well. But so far I'm on the last row of the second sleeve, and I knit the sleeve separately
because the pattern calls for them to be knit separately. But I haven't knit the body at all yet. And it's like this body colorwork sweater that like at the shoulders is a totally different color than the rest of the sweater. And kind of like a volcano look, which is gonna be really cool. But I have so much knitting to do in the next couple days. And these are knit on US 7 needles. So it's kind of a gamble, but I think it's fine because it's only taking me a couple days each to do the sleeves. And we'll see how it goes. And I will be updating progress.
We had a pretty good correspondence going on throughout the process until the very end when the sweater was basically very close to being done. His tone changed significantly and he started talking as though the sweater was not at all what he had envisioned. And every time he would email me, he would say the same phrase repeatedly different ways, like, well, I guess I have to take it as it is, or I guess I'll pay the remainder and just accept it. Which I thought was really weird because I had been sending him updates and made the changes he expressed to me when he would tell me of different things he wanted done to the sweater. A part of me thinks this was a tactic to try to get me to give him a discount on the remaining amount due, since he had paid a partial amount for me to order the yarn and start the sweater. I resolved at this point to complete the project, send it to the customer, and be done. I'm very proud of how the sweater turned out, so I feel overall like this project and this very big project sweater was worth it in the end. I feel like next time I would probably maybe give the guy the option to give him a refund and keep the sweater myself, or like give him the option of maybe not accepting the sweater and me just repurposing the yarn for something else, or just doing it as I did it and just accept the last payment because the project is finished, and just ship it to him and be done.